Hey guys, Stock Saturday, and it's a flat week for me. The number's 3,000 down, but that's just because I've withdrawn 3,000 of the cash that I had sitting in this account. Slightly up because I got a Glencore dividend, the coal money coming through. Disgusting, dirty miner, but we like those. And yeah, not a whole lot of earnings sort of to look at this week, but quite a lot going on. So I thought I'd have a look at some other stuff. So a lot of us are with Trading212 as their main broker, me included, and they've released their 2022 accounts. So always good to check the health of your broker. Obviously a little bit late than sort of a lot of companies would be reporting, sort of larger companies, but this is what you get with small companies. You can tell they're small because they scanned one of the pages upside down. So yeah, very, very small, but that's fine. And yeah, all looking pretty good. So obviously most of this is from CFD money. That's why they're in a much better position than sort of the smaller challenger brokers, as we sort of call them, Free Trade and Invest Engine and Stake and people like that. But yeah, Trading212 been going sort of 15 years, largely profitable most of that. And they've had revenue slightly up, 94 million up to 98.7 million. Gross profit they show as 100% gross profit. There's no cost of revenue. And operating profit down slightly from sort of expenses being up. Inflation, I expect, wage rises and that sort of thing. But yeah, net profit of 41 million, down from 45 million last year. But yeah, with sort of inflation and the CFD side is very volatile, so you always sort of you're going to get varying profits, but it's profit basically when you compare to Free Trade, probably their biggest UK competitor, are crowdfunding again for sort of 10th time or whatever it is, and their big sort of headline was that they've lost 50% less than they have the previous year. So net loss is down rather than sort of Trading212 41 million net profit on 98 million in revenue, so over 40% net margin. So yeah, it's quite stark, to be honest. A lot of people get hung up about the morals of CFD investing, but I always say these people are going to gamble somewhere. If you take this away, they'll just go somewhere else and gamble there. So you might as well let them do it. And yeah, that is what provides this lovely income and keeps us with a very cheap broker. So checking in on the semiconductor side, Taiwan Semiconductor released their May number. So this affects sort of AMD and Nvidia, Qualcomm, Broadcom, and all people like that. Gives you a good idea, sort of before the quarterly earnings from all of those come out, how the revenue is doing, and it's 176 billion Taiwan dollars. Not a lot of movement in the Taiwan dollar itself, so that I thought was a pretty good number. Just under 5% down on last year, where last couple of months have been sort of 14-15% down. So yeah, pretty good, and sort of nearly 30 billion up from April. May sort of normally being a better month than April, but yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Bodes well for other semiconductor stocks. Maybe this is just sort of selling chips for the Apple goggles, but who knows? Just a quick look at some of the metals. Copper sort of seems to have made a little low, sort of late May. I wasn't able to sort of buy any more. I was looking at my Polish KGHM stock. Haven't been able to sort of get any on to interactive brokers and buy them just yet. It was a very short dip, and I was sort of waiting a little longer, and it's now risen. So we're up to $3.77. I still think this is going to be a long burn. They're talking of 2025 surplus still, until 2025, until we really start going into a noticeable deficit. So yeah, it's good to sort of be bumbling around maybe still for a year or two. Iron ore tends to sort of move a little bit more in one direction than copper. Copper's very sort of up and down. Iron ore sort of did bottom by the looks of it around the same time. A lot of this will be China demand, so it does move up and down quite heavily with China demand, but is now back up to 115. Not too bad from a sort of low of just below 100. Doesn't seem to like going below 100 at all. Did early May, and then was heavily down late last year, but we sort of covered that, and good to sort of see it on the up again. Just looking at the gold and silver then, gold sort of had a little bit of a rough month, sort of topped out at, I think, all-time highs in May, and has been sort of trickling down, nothing too much, and I've been sort of buying gold miners probably a little bit early, sort of buying some around $2,000 gold, $1,900 gold, so it's been sort of coming down a little. If you look in pounds, it's even more down. Pound's been sort of slightly increasing, so that's been coming down, and I will continue to buy, I expect. And looking at silver on the month, sort of had a big drop in earlier May, and back down to sort of £19 in dollars. It's sort of risen up a reasonable amount in the last few days, sort of bottomed out at 22 in late May time, and it's sort of been upticking slightly, but I would expect we could still be in for a bit of pain over sort of June, July time with all this debt ceiling, debt issuance, and sort of liquidity issues. So I'd be keeping an eye out to make some long-term buys. Just a quick look at the crypto hash rate and difficulty. It's normally something I would do in the crypto section, but with this sort of crypto prices coming down and this going up, I'm considering sort of making some more leeway into CleanSpark, or maybe some of the others if they look good. So kind of belongs in the stock section if it would be going in my ISA. And despite the crypto drop recently, you can still see miners piling in, turning on new rigs, just gone above 50 trillion on the difficulty. So that means they're all mining less Bitcoin, which isn't good, especially with the price dropping. But it means they're confident. Look at the hash rate. Obviously this corresponds with the difficulty. That's now up to 371 exahash. So a lot of increase in the last sort of few months. Really, it's just been constantly up. So we'll see if they turn off with the sort of falling Bitcoin price, and now lots and lots of issues. US trying to basically shut down the whole industry. And then just looking at some of the general news. So the ISM non-manufacturing PMI came out. This is the sort of bellwether for the general US economy, and that has come down to 50.3, was expected to be quite a bit higher and increasing from last month. So that's a bit of a miss. Below 50 is basically seen as sort of the economy contracting. So they're very, very close. Could be possibly an indicator for the Fed's gone too far, but we won't know just yet. Not a lot on Tuesday. Wednesday we saw Halifax House Price Index minus 1% for the year, and flat for May. Was expected to be flat, so yeah, not too much change there, but it does mean sort of the yearly's coming down, but certainly not seeing the larger crash that many people have been thinking. I was thinking coming as well. US job numbers sort of slightly worse, I guess, on the whole than expected. Continuing unemployment claims down, but new claims up. And yeah, nothing too much there, although the market did seem to sort of react quite strongly to it. So yeah, overall, not really a whole lot going on. REITs are slightly down. The gold miners and bits and pieces are slightly down in the ISA. CleanSpark is down quite a bit with the Bitcoin price dropping, so I'm keeping my eye on them. Actually buying some long-dated options at the moment, so betting on where they're going to be in January 2025. Sort of a risky bet, but seems worth it. Sort of the 9 months after the halving, so yeah, having a bit of a gamble on them. And yeah, the sort of miners are up slightly with these increased metal prices, and car makers seem to be sort of having a good week. Stellantis sort of was in the low 15s, and that's come up to $16.24. Porsche up slightly, or VW up slightly. So yeah, a very slow week, but let me know how you guys are doing. These are the sort of weeks to be investing, most likely, when everything's quiet, and look forward to the future. So leave your thoughts in comments below, and like and subscribe. See you soon.